Good morning, welcome back. Day 2 in tackling the E36 paint. Car's sat in the garage overnight and dried. Paint's all clean from our decon yesterday, so if you haven't watched that video, make sure you check that one out. But yeah, today is the day we wet sand and polish this thing. So as I said yesterday, I've had a little bit of experience of wet sanding sort of small areas and I guess individual scratches, but I've never done a whole car. So I'm thinking it's going to take a little while, but hopefully we can pump it all out this morning and then get into the polishing this afternoon. So yeah, welcome along. You'll see by this car, the paint, well, while I'm doing the full car, is that the paint's not bad, but it's not great. Basically, there's little scratches and imperfections through the whole car. So rather than getting out there and doing like a scratch at a time and leaving it in areas, we're just going to do the whole car. So you can see, along with being reasonably scratched up, there's lots of little imperfections throughout the panels. Again, a decent amount of hazing, but all these little patches and areas that really only a full wet sand is going to really tackle. So you can see a few of the deeper scratches there. That compounding probably is going to remove that, but then some of these other ones that are pretty bad. So wet sanding the entire car is going to be the way to go. Okay, for the things you need for this, you don't need much. You just need wet sanding paper and water. For the grit I'm going to use for this, the BMW paint is pretty hard. So I'm going to use 1500 grit today. It's going to create some bigger scratches, but we've got a heavy cutting compound for afterwards. But it's just going to allow us to really get in and remove some of those scratches. You'll see the process on how we make sure we don't get right to the clear coat, but we'll get to that soon. Then I just need basically a microfiber towel to wipe the area once we finish sanding. And I've got these little sanding blocks. Now, you can buy purpose-built sanding blocks. You don't need to. This used to be a big sanding block that I've just chopped up into little blocks. It is important to use a sanding block because it just keeps the paper level. But we'll basically be going along, put the sandpaper on the block, making sure that things are nice and level. For water, this is just tap water. You can use the ionized water if you need, if you want to, but seeing as we're going to be wiping it pretty much straight away, and we're going to be correcting the car afterwards, using tap water is going to be just fine. Okay, let's get into the sanding technique. First off, you're going to want to spray down the panel that you plan on working on with water. When we start sanding, we want to sand in a horizontal pattern with the sanding block set at a 45-degree angle. If we were to set the block at the same angle that we're sanding, the leading edge of the block is more likely to dig into the surface of the paint, creating deeper scratches, something that we want to avoid. We're going to start with 3 full passes. One pass will be moving all the way to the left and back again. So we're going to do this 3 times. Once the passes are complete, wipe off the water, and we'll be left with the paint looking like a matte finish. This is the time to check if there are any remaining scratches in that sanded area. If there are scratches left, generally they'll be too deep to sand out. If we go any deeper than 3 passes, you start to run the risk of sanding right through the clear coat. So if you do see scratches, they're going to be pretty rounded off and you won't see them too badly once polished, but I would suggest not going any deeper. Okay, so that's the process. I'm going to work through the entire car and we'll see when we're done. Okay, so this has taken me so much longer than I thought it would. It's taken basically all day so far, and I've still got the roof and the bumpers left. So the dream of doing this over the weekend has evaporated pretty quick. I've had a couple of breaks, but it has taken me all day. Yeah, wow. Wet sanding is some job. But started off a little rough, but now it looks really good. So basically we've done the whole bonnet. You can see it's all been wetted in kind of one layer, and just like these little bits where we had some paint chip sorted out, so like those little pieces where we've just gone a little bit extra to level those out. But the bonnet's done, that side's all finished, the quarter panel, the doors, the rear quarter are all done. So basically we've done both sides. I've got to do the roof, and I haven't done the rear bumper or the front bumper. But yeah, man, that's some job. Polishing is way easier. So another day tomorrow, we'll finish off the wet sanding tomorrow, and then hope that we can get into the polishing then. Have to do the coating next weekend, but at least get all the paint correcting done. We'll be in good shape. So tomorrow. Okay, morning of day 3. Let's get into this. We've got bumpers to do, half the roof to do, and then that's the wet sanding done, and then get into polishing. So gonna be another big day. Let's get cracking. I'm excited. Okay, so that's gonna be basically us for the rest of the day. Finish off that wet sanding, get into the compounding, and we'll see where we finish up. Okay, that's it. The sanding is finally done. Time to move on to the compounding. Okay, so I've done my test spot just on this side of the bonnet, and basically found that using Rupert's coarse blue polish, because the 1500 grit sandpaper marks are quite coarse, it was taking me quite a few passes with the Rupert's blue compound to really get through those scratch marks. So I've gone out and got basically Mizuno, the super heavy compound, the 300. That's really aggressive, and that's done a pretty good job of getting through those sanding marks. So you'll see I'll still probably need to do at least sort of 2 passes with it, but it's a lot better than the 3 or 4 that I was having to do with the Rupert's blue. So kind of lesson learned there. I was probably a little bit aggressive with the 1500, but this is doing the job, and it's cutting through them fine. So yeah, we're going to prime our Rupert's blue wool pad and crack on with the polishing. It's going to be it definitely seems like doing the wet sanding has added some hours to this, but it's worth it. It's coming up real good. So to prime the pad, we're basically just going to pop the cross pattern on the sort of in 4 ways on the inside. So just like that, and then pop it on speed 2 and leave it on a flat surface for about 20 seconds. Okay, that'll do it. Now you can see our polish is nicely spread around the pad. And we're going to add our 4 dots. get into this. So yeah, because this 1500 is quite aggressive, you will see that this will get through most of it, but I should, based on our test panel, I'll probably have to go over this again. So let's see how we go. One thing I noticed with this heavy cutting compound is it does dust quite a bit more, but it is doing a way better job of cutting through those sand marks. So wipe this off and I'll show you basically how it looks after one pass, and then we'll give it a second pass and you'll see the difference straight away. So take a look at this. So yeah, even after one go, obviously a lot better than that, but you can still see those wet sanding marks. So we'll go over it once more and you'll see the difference. Okay, let's do our second pass. Sun's starting to go down, so I've had to put the garage door down a bit so I don't get direct sunlight on the panel. It's already been a long day. We're only just getting started, so we could be going into the night here. But let's do our second pass. Okay, let's have a look at this after two passes. Yeah, so basically all those sanding marks are gone. You'll see basically the holograms left by the really coarse compound, so that's why we'll definitely need to two-step this. But if you have a look, really now all you can see is the circular scratches. So one pass with a fine polish and pad will take out those, but you can see the kind of rotational scratches there. One more pass with the medium polish is going to cut those out and we'll be laughing again. Sanded, polished. A little bit of dust, you can see a bit of dust around, but that's yeah, this cutting compound does dust a bit, but yeah, we are on the right track, so let's go. Okay, I'm nearing the end of the compounding. Just got a couple of pieces to do on the bumpers and we're done, but man, it's taken a while. I'm having to do minimum 2, sometimes 3 or 4 passes on each section just to get rid of the sanding marks. So there's a little bit of regret there right now, but this paint is just so hard. The clear coat, I mean BMW clear coat is typically hard, but this stuff is just so hard. Even with really heavy cutting compound, removing these scratches has been hard work. I think it's just when paint gets heated up outside in the sun and then cooled down, heated up, and when you do that over so many life cycles, it just gets baked and harder, and I'm pretty sure that's obviously just what's happened here, because this paint, the clear coat is just, it's allowed me to, I mean, it's given me a bit of flexibility in terms of I'm not even getting close to cutting through any of it, even though I'm doing so many passes because it's so hard. So it's given me a bit of room, which is to work with, which is, I guess, is nice. But yeah, it's coming out really good, but it's just taking a lot of work. But a couple of areas left to do, then we can get into the refinement. It is leaving a decent bit of marring, but then we get into the refinement and we should be in good shape. But yeah, this is turning into a job, but it's going to be worth it. It's looking great. Right, we are done. It's been a long day. It's late now, but she is finally done, and man, she's looking shiny. It's looking so good. That's pretty satisfying. It's late. I'm gonna go to bed, and we'll wake up, pull us outside, and see how she looks. But yeah, I'm pretty stoked about it. Looking back, even halfway through, I was regretting the wet sanding. Looking at it now, I think it was worth it. It's pretty special, so I'm pretty stoked. But yeah, I'm going to bed. Good night. Okay, next morning. So last night we finished polishing the entire car, so we wet sanded it, we compounded it, we've gone over one more pass with the Ripper's yellow pad and the yellow fine polish, so she's looking really good, like it's awesome. But I was lying in bed last night, firstly because I had to do so much compounding with the wet sanding, there's a lot of polishing dust in all the cracks and crevices, so it's a bit of a pain. And then I was also thinking, I've put in so much time into this so far that I might as well give it one more step just to make it really pop. So first we're going to take it outside and give it a wash just to get rid of all that dust, and then we're going to bring it back inside and go over one more pass with the Ripper's white pad and the pure white polish. So typically, because this paint's so hard, this won't do much, but it'll just go that extra step. I think I would have regretted it because I spent so much time if I just didn't do one more pass, so we're going to do that. And then we're ready for my favourite step, which is going to be the ceramic coat. There's nothing better. I love just the feeling of the paint when you put on that ceramic coat. So today's going to be an awesome day. We'll take it out now, give it a wash, bring it back inside, give it a quick one go with the white pad, and then the ceramic coat. Oh yeah, this is so good, can't wait. So that's today's plan. Okay, so that's we're all washed down and hopefully cleaned out all that dust. You'll notice I didn't do a contact wash on the actual body panels. Really my goal was really just to get rid of all the dust. So we put in a bit of Green Star into the GSF just to give it a bit more bite to help sort of break down any of those, I guess, polishing oils. And then just really got into the kernels with the nooks and crannies, all the stuff where the dust collected, to get rid of it with a detail brush, and that was it. So no point doing the panels. I want to avoid touching them as much as possible now, seeing as they're really basically dialed in, and then we'll basically do the one more stage with the ultra fine polish, and this thing's going to look so good. And then we ceramic coat it, and I can't wait. It's going to be awesome. So we're just going to dry this off now. Again, we're going to put on as little pressure as possible. We don't want to scratch any of the paint, and then we'll do our last stage, and we're laughing. So stoked, so stoked. Right, I just dried this off, and God, it's looking so good. Now it's all clean. Check this out. Yes, man, look how good that looks. Oh, I'm seriously excited, and look, it's just awesome. This car's come out so good. Okay, that is us for the polishing. Thanks for joining along. This car is just looking so epic now. I'm super stoked. Some serious hours gone into it, but man, it's worth it. It's just popping right now. So yeah, thanks for watching. Next video is going to be coating this thing. That's going to be epic. Can't wait. It's my favorite part of the whole process. and so make sure you don't miss that. So we'll see you then. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.